Hi and welcome to our DBMS class. I'm Hepzibah taking the advantages. In today's class we will learn about the advantages of DBMS and also we will learn about history. Let's look at the first advantage. It's data redundancy. Unlike traditional file systems storage, data redundancy in DBMS is very less or not present. Sometimes it will be there. Data redundancy occurs when the same data are stored unnecessarily at different places. For example, look at these tables here. Here, if you look at the mouse pointer, the details of staff number, name, position, salary, and branch, or all the details are being stored again in staff branch table, and the branch column branch details are again stored in the branch table. So the information here we have in staff table, we have the same information we also have in staff branch, and regarding branch and address we have it in branch table 2. Okay, all these three tables contains same kind of information, so that kind of unnecessarily storage of data in different places is called data redundancy, and this problem is reduced or eliminated in data DBMS because all data are stored at a centralized location rather than being created by individual users, and for each application it doesn't take the information from individual users. It is being stored in centralized location, so this problem is being completely reduced in database management system. Okay, that is the first advantage. Whenever we have data redundancy, we will have a problem of data inconsistency. Okay, so even this problem is also being reduced in DBMS. Here, in traditional file system storage, the changes made by one user in one application doesn't update the changes in other application, given both have the same set of details. See, for example, see here, the branch number we have seen here in this staff table, in branch table, and also in staff branch. If the updation is done in staff table, that doesn't apply in branch. We have to go to the branch table and changes have to be done here separately, and also in staff branch. If any one of the table in any one file system we doesn't change, then it will lead to data inconsistency. Okay, so here it is showing data inconsistency, while this is not the case in DBMS system, as there is a single repository of data that is defined only once it is been defined and is accessed by many users, and data are consistent. Okay, this problem is eradicated in DBMS. Let's go to the next advantage, that is data sharing. In DBMS, data can be shared with multiple users. The same data can be shared with different users at a time. Okay, that is the main advantage, whereas in file system that is not possible. If one person is having the file, the other person cannot see the file. Okay, look at the data sharing in the primary is the primary advantage of database management system, because DBMS system allows users and applications to share data with multiple applications and users. Data are stored in one or more servers in the network, and that there is some software locking mechanism that prevents the same set of data from being changed by two people at the same time. There is a consistency maintained, some constraints are maintained so that the user doesn't change or modify the data. Okay, so since the modification is not being done by any of the users, the same data is being stored, is being shared with different users. See, for example, look at the figure. The same data is being shared with different people at a time. It can be at a time or it can be at different times, but sharing is done. That is the primary advantage of the DBMS. The next advantage is data security. Okay, DBMS system provides a strong framework to protect data privacy and security. So it provides a framework, and the only authorized users can access the data. The administrator will be giving the privileges to access or to modify or to update any kind of things to change. Okay, so the permission should be, the privileges must be given by the administrator, then only the changes can be done. So here we can see the privacy and security of the data. If you look at the figure here, see, many users are there here trying to access the information here, but it is not being accessed. You're not an authorized person. You can see a wrong cross mark here because they are not the authorized persons. The administrator has not given permission or the privilege to the user, so to update or do any kind of changes. So only few people are being given the privileges with them. See, you can see the key. They have the key to open the lock. Okay, this lock can be opened. There is a lock provided here that is symbol that symbolizes security. So whoever has the key can open it up. Okay, no one anyone else, others cannot open it, those who don't have key. So with this security, those who have key can open the information and they have the permissions to change. Mostly the administrator and the organization department people, the committee members, will be having these privileges to update or to do any kind of changes to the data. Let's look at the next advantage. It is data concurrency. At a time, many people can access the data. Concurrency means simultaneously. Let's take an example. Here I am using my Google, for example, and at the same time many other users are also using the Google. Okay, so same time we are using Google. That is concurrency. In DBMS, data are stored in one or more servers in the network, and that there is some software locking mechanism that prevents the same set of data from being changed by two or more people, and so the access can be done, and so we can say that it is concurrency. Simultaneous access has been done, so hence concurrency is being maintained. Look at this. See, for example, if we are in an airport, okay, a person's Tom, Jerry and Mickey are trying to take the flights from Philadelphia to Florida. okay, and San Francisco to Los Angeles. One person in economy class, first class, and business class, and these people are getting checked with their passports and the tickets at a time in different counters. Okay, see, different counters have been provided so that they can access, they are being verified at a time, they are verified at a time. So all the people are accessing at a time, they are checking their details at a time. Okay, so this is concurrency. The next advantage is integration. Data integration is a process of combining the data residing at different locations and present the user with a unified view of data. So this is being allowed in DBMS system with much feasibility. Very simply, see, look at the systems in different locations and from different areas in different mediums, the information is being gathered and is being filtered. Here filter is being shown and it is been combined. In filter it is been combined, it is combined and then showed in a much feasible way, unified view. Okay, that is that is data integration. This is about data integration. Data access. Okay, whoever has the privileges, only those people can access the data and can have the information, required information to that. While in this tradition file based approach, it might take hours to look for very specific information. Okay, that might be needed in the context of some business emergency, while the DBMS reduces this time to in few seconds. Searching is very easy, access is very easy in DBMS. Excuse me. With using some queries, even a single line code, we can access the data. Backup and recovery. The next advantage is backup and recovery. This is another advantage of DBMS, that it provides a strong framework for data backup. Users are not required to back up their data periodically and manually. It is automatically taken back by DBMS. Moreover, in case of server crash, DBMS restores the data in its previous condition. Look at the diagram. If you look at this diagram, it will be more clear. See, the database itself is taking a backup, whether it may be a hard disk or a CD or anything, whatever is being connected, it will take automatically. Backup is being done, and when the system crashes and when it restores, when it is requirement of a restore, it will restore. These are the main advantages of the DBMS, because we can write small queries which will search the database for you, and it will retrieve the information in the fast and very possible way due to its inbuilt searching operations. Okay, let's take a look at the history now. Excuse me. So, in ancient times, the database systems are developed by government offices, libraries, hospitals, and business organizations, and principle of these systems are still being used today. But in 60s, the two popular data models in this decade were there. One is a network model and hierarchical model. database data processing, and they used magnetic tapes were developed for storage. Data processing tasks such as payrolls were automated with data stored on tapes. Data could also be input from punched cards and text and output to printers. So as I told you, in late 60s, um, network model and hierarchical models were being used. Okay, for this they used to use model called CODASYL, CODASYL, and hierarchical model they used to use is IMS. Okay. In those days, American airline manages its reservation data with these methods. Later, E.F. Codd published an important paper to propose the use of relational database. Okay, relational database model, and his idea changed the way people thought about database. In this model, database schemas or logical organization is disconnected from physical information storage and became the standard principle of database systems, the which which it was developed by E.F. Codd. Then later, a new database model called entity relationship model was developed, but this model made for designers to focus on data application instead of logical table structure. So then later in 80s, structural query language SQL became the standard query language. The relational database system became a commercial success as a rapid increase in computer sales boosted the database market. Then DB2 became the flagship database product for IBM. And the introduction of IBM PC resulted in establishment of many new database companies. Then after database industry shook out, okay, most of the surviving companies sold complex database products at high prices. Around this time, new client tool for application development was released, and these includes the Oracle Developer. A number of tools for personal productivity such as ODBC and Excel Access were also developed. And in 90s, SQL language was designed primarily and it is used for transaction processing application. Design support and query re-emerged as a major application area for database. Database vendors also began to add object-related support to their database. Increased investments in online business resulted in a rise in demand for internet database connectors. So the major event was the explosive growth of the World Wide Web. Database were developed much more extensively than ever before. Database systems will now had to support very high transaction processing rates as well as very high reliability and 24/7 availability. And these systems also support web interfaces to data. Today, databases are everywhere. Today, databases are everywhere and are used to enhance our day-to-day life. From personal cloud storage to predicting the weather, many of the services we utilize today are possible due to database. Presently, there are many new players in the relational database space offering specific solutions. Some of the concurrent relationship databases include giants such as Oracle, MS SQL, and DB2.